Okay. People versus Kobe Williams. Mr. Jadala.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Samuel Jadala, P62186, MIDC Arraignment Counsel, appearing on behalf of Mr. Williams. Your Honor, for purposes of today's arraignment on both the felony matter and both misdemeanor matters, Mr. Jacoby Williams will waive formal reading and stand mute. Gone over all the charges with Mr. Williams. He understands the charges and the possible penalties. I've also gone over his rights. He understands the rights that he's going to have throughout these matters. At this time, Mr. Williams will respectfully request court-appointed counsel for all further proceedings on his felony matter, Your Honor.
And I will sign that form that I have, and we have all of his contact information. There is, pardon?
I've emailed those to the clerk, Your Honor. I've emailed his phone number, his address, and his email address.
I'm gonna set the cases be set actually on my docket on July the 1st, 9. If he still incarcerated at that, if he's incarcerated at that point, I know it's a long ways off still, but with the felony charges, I don't know what's going to happen. That we could deal with, we'll deal with it at that point. I'll make a notation on the file. There is a request for a cash bond amount of $250,000 because of the seriousness of the charges. Any comments, Mr. Jadala, on that?
Just that, Your Honor, he has no other holds or warrants. He's currently not employed. He's been incarcerated now for 5 days. We just asked that this court make the bond as reasonable as possible.
Well, under the circumstances, at least at this point, with a charge of felony charge that carries a maximum in life in prison, I don't think that necessarily the request from the police department is unreasonable. And with his history of non-appearance, I am going to issue the $250,000 cash bond at this point. Set this matter over for a probable cause conference on April the 28th. Judge Oakley.
Thank you, Judge.
And I won't put a bond about it, a personal bond on the misdemeanor. So if something else happens with the felony, we'll work it out on those. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Officer, anything else?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. People versus Christopher Malone.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Samuel Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Malone. Your Honor, for purposes of today's arraignment, we waive formal reading and stand mute. Mr. Malone understands what he's being charged with, as well as the possible penalties. I've gone over his rights. He does understand those. I've also gone over with him that he's going to have a no contact, do not return order while this case is pending. He does understand. I've provided your clerk with his contact information. He does, his address is not an address that he shares with the victim. Your Honor, I believe there's a personal bond recommendation. We've asked.
There is a personal bond on the domestic charge. Officer, it's case 210318. I'm going to give a pretrial date by Zoom to Judge Oakley, Tuesday, April the 27th at 10:20 a.m. with Judge Oakley on the domestic. So you're going to appear with Judge Oakley on that date. Then we got another misdemeanor that it looks like he owes $246 on. I have all of your contact information, and I put you on a payment plan, Mr. Malone, of $50 a month.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll send you generate a payment plan for you to pay that off at $50 a month, okay? And
Okay,
then
yes,
make sure that you're on the domestic with Judge Oakley on the April 27th date, and you're not to have contact with the victim, and you cannot return to the 23 Birch Road address. But I'm going to release you on a $10,000 personal bond, okay?
Thank you.